working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now, with 5 new information on the accusations about the Kern County Fair misusing state funds. 17's Aton Wallace sat down with the man who says he's the whistleblower.
America's vaping epidemic explodes. The CDC is reporting hundreds of new cases and 2 new deaths. We'll have the latest.
President Trump on the attack, going after Democrats, journalists, and the whistleblower who made the report about his call with Ukraine's leader. What he said should happen to whoever spoke to that whistleblower. That's raising some eyebrows. On this Friday, September 27th, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and it's going to be a gorgeous day. Not only is it Friday, but the cool down really is going to set in.
It's also the final weekend of the fair, so let's check in with Kevin for a first look at the forecast on this Friday.
Yeah, the weather is looking great as we round out the work week heading into the weekend. Yesterday was still a little bit warm, though. We were in the 90s. 96 degrees was Thursday's high. The record on that date, 107, set back in 1963. We sit at 68 degrees right now with a north wind at 6 miles per hour. And as we take a look at your fair forecast for tonight, 3 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures right near 83, 84 at 6, and then by 9 o'clock, clear skies and 77. For the Tehachapi area, 55 degrees right now. We do have a breeze out of the west-northwest at 12. We're expecting those winds throughout the day. And as we take a look at the wind forecast, and you can see some strong winds expected into the Kern County mountains. That increases as we head into tonight into the desert locations as well. So keep that in mind. We'll also be looking at a light breeze into the valley. As we take a look at the temperatures, though, for the mountains, we're going to be looking at some nice and comfortable temperatures ahead with lower 70s expected this afternoon before we're back into the 60s by 5. We'll talk more about the weekend and next week coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's get a check of the morning commute. We're going to send that over to Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 near White Lane, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Just be mindful that there's a lot of construction projects happening around the county, so if you happen to go into one of those areas where they're wrapping up construction, be mindful that crews are out and about, and things could get just a little slow as they wrap those construction projects up this morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
New this morning, Bakersfield police have released information about threats made to a local junior high school. BPD says last night officers got a call about threats posted on Instagram by a former student. The post also contained pictures of guns. The post was taken down, and officers determined the picture was taken off the internet from a news article in Sacramento. BPD contacted the former student, and officers say the threats don't appear to be credible, but they're continuing their investigation.
Explosive new details this morning about money mismanagement by Kern County Fair officials. A former fair employee who is one of at least 5 people interviewed by the state auditor is providing details and pictures to back up claims of misusing money and poor oversight mentioned in the report. He spoke to 17's Aton Wallace, who has more.
Christopher Medellin says during the 2 years he worked for the Kern County Fair, he saw firsthand much of what was alleged in that state report.
This is Christopher Medellin. He worked at the Kern County Fair for 2 years as a maintenance mechanic, but he says he felt he had no choice but to quit last June because of how the fair was run.
How would you describe what you saw at the Kern County Fair?
Definitely dishonest. People see one thing when they go to the fair and they expect a certain thing, and they don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on.
A behind-the-scenes that this 27-page state audit says included gross mismanagement of hundreds of thousands of your tax dollars, including the use of state credit cards to purchase lavish lobster meals, wasteful tips, and alcohol, as seen in this picture Medellin sent to us showing a fridge full of beer cans, much or all of it charged to state accounts.
I ate out with the government credit card, with the fair credit card. We had Red Lobster, we had beer, and yeah, we had a lot of. I think the maintenance supervisor tipped the waitress. It was over $60, and I was kind of surprised because he wouldn't do that with his own money, but yet he's going to give her a tip.
The audit says in many cases, employees clocked in on state time only to do non-fair related side jobs, something Medellin acknowledges he did.
I was getting paid from the fair to go do side business for my supervisor.
Specifically, the report says, quote, in one particularly egregious case, employee A misused numerous state resources from March 2017 through April 2018. That employee used a state vehicle, state-owned materials and equipment, and state time, both his own and that of several other association maintenance employees, to perform at least 3 side jobs. Witnesses stated that the employees would check in at the fairgrounds in the morning, leave for the side jobs, and not return until before their shifts ended. The maintenance supervisor facilitated employee A's engagement in the side jobs, even though they were inconsistent and incompatible with employee A's job duties. Medellin corroborates this, saying his supervisor asked him to work many non-fair related side projects on state time.
I did a lot of work. Personal truck, somebody's, vehicle. It has nothing to do with the fair but getting paid for it. Or I'd be working on a billboard or working on something else that I was clocked in, but I wasn't getting anything from the side, just I was getting paid from work.
He says these allegations are only some of what has taken place at the fair because he believes the state auditor may not have been given the whole picture when she interviewed him and other employees just over 1 year ago.
September 26, 2018, I gave my interview to Nicole Ricks, which is a state auditor, at the district office, which is a DMV a board place. Not everything was said because we were told not to say certain things, so we were coached not to say things when she interviewed us. Me and fellow employees all participated in some of the stuff that went on, and we all talked. Everybody talks. They say not to talk, we're going to talk. We're going to find out what's going on. We all know that it's the fairgrounds because we were part of it. All the stuff that's mentioned in there is stuff that we did. There's no other fair that's going to do the same exact things that we did.
Now, we called every single board member and called CEO Mike Alcott. We also called the office of Governor Gavin Newsom. He appoints fair board members, but we did not hear back by news time. In studio, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
An update this morning on the explosion in vaping-related illnesses. The CDC now reports 13 people have died and more than 800 others are hospitalized due to vaping. That's up from 52% from a week ago. The CDC says 46 states and the Virgin Islands are reporting illnesses. 2 people in Kern County are hospitalized with a mysterious illness. 2 people in California have died. It's still not clear exactly what's causing people to get sick. Meantime, California continues its crusade against vaping. This week, the State Department of Health issued an advisory urging Californians to stop vaping no matter what. State Senator Jerry Hill says next legislative session he plans to reintroduce a measure that would ban the sale of flavored tobacco. Hill says the proposal will include an urgency clause. That means as soon as the governor signs the bill, it would go into effect. Hill says if all goes smoothly, flavored tobacco sales could be banned early as late January.
More than 3 years later, a man learned his fate for killing an unborn baby while driving drunk. The crash happened in May 2016 on northbound Highway 99 in Delano. Jose Odilon Bravo slammed into another car. His attorney claims he fell asleep, but prosecutors say he was driving under the influence of marijuana and alcohol. A passenger in the car he hit was 16 weeks pregnant. She survived the crash, but her baby did not. Yesterday, a judge sentenced Bravo to 9 years in prison for the baby's death.
Drunk driving is an issue we continue to cover extensively here at KGET. We call it Kern's Sober Reality. That's because the National Center for Statistics and Analysis reports that California has the second highest number of alcohol-impaired driving fatalities nationwide. And Kern County ranks number 1 in the state.
We see more than 4,000 DUI arrests per year. That's about 12 per day. And those are just the ones that we're catching, right? At any given time, there's about 15 DUI drivers on our roadways.
Barrientos is a board member with MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The organization works to educate people about the dangers of drunk driving in an effort to stop it. This weekend, you can join the effort by participating in the annual Walk Like MAD 5K. All proceeds go to raising awareness about the problem of DUI and programs MAD offers. Walk Like MAD is happening tomorrow from 7:30 to 11 at the park at Riverwalk. And it's going to be a beautiful day out there for it.
Yeah, well, the weather's going to be nice.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but there's never a bad time to get screened. Kern Public Health, Links for Life, and Kern Medical are teaming up to make sure women can do just that. The Women's Days event is happening this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, women can get free mammograms, women's health screenings, and birth control. The event's happening from 9 to 3 both days. Saturday, it will be in the Bessie Owens parking lot on Potomac Avenue. Sunday, it's happening at North Meadows Park on McCrae Street. You can call 321-3000 to schedule an appointment.
Flu season is rapidly approaching, and there are indications it could be a severe one. Flu season begins on Monday and generally peaks in February and then trails off in the spring. But already this year, a child in Northern California has died of the flu. Health officials are urging Americans to roll up their sleeves and get their annual flu shot.
Recommend that everyone 6 months of age and older get it, and now and to the end of October is the best time to get it.
Keep in mind, it takes 2 weeks for the vaccine to be effective in adults, and some kids may need 2 doses. The CDC estimates last year there were between 37 and 42 million cases of the flu, which resulted in up to 61,000 deaths.
Kaiser Permanente is working to keep people healthy this flu season, offering up to 300 flu vaccines to community members. The Kaiser mobile health vehicle will be at the Kaiser Permanente Sports Village from 7 to 2 tomorrow. Nurses will provide the flu shots. Soccer and football players can get first aid for minor injuries as well. There will also be healthy snacks and water. Adventist Health also wants to make sure our community is staying healthy. The healthcare provider is holding a free drive-through flu shot clinic tomorrow. It's happening at Adventist Health. That's at 29th Street and Chester Avenue, starting at 7 a.m. and will run until doses are gone. The clinic is for adults only, so people 18 years and older.
We'll still have this morning, upping Uber security.
Coming up, the 3 new features coming to keep you safe the next time you request a ride.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
If you've ever had dinner delivered to your door, your personal information could be at risk. Food delivery service company DoorDash has announced a security breach. It happened back in May and exposed personal information of approximately 5 million customers, drivers, and merchants. Hackers accessed names, email addresses, delivery addresses, order history, phone numbers, and the last 4 digits of some bank accounts. But they did not get a hold of full bank account numbers. DoorDash says to reset your password. The company's reaching out to impacted users. Uber is stepping up security. The rideshare company unveiled new safety features yesterday. The new features touch on 3 key issues the company has faced: making sure riders can get help, are getting the right driver, and getting in the right car. Riders or drivers can now text 911 discreetly if in trouble. Riders will have the option of requesting a code to make sure they have the right driver. There will also be a facial recognition feature to make sure the driver with the account is the same person behind the wheel. The changes come after intense pressure from lawmakers and customers. It's a big week in the tech world. A first-of-its-kind phone from Samsung hits store shelves today, and Facebook and Amazon have big announcements. Liz McLaughlin's tracking it all.
Showtime.
Today in Los Angeles, it's 85 degrees.
Samuel L. Jackson is giving Alexa a run for her money. Not bad for a rookie. Amazon announced it will be adding celebrity voices to its virtual assistant at the retail giant's 3rd annual hardware event, where Amazon unveiled more than a dozen new products.
It's about inviting themselves into your home in a non-threatening way.
In addition to new Echo speakers, Amazon launched a pet tracker, a smart oven, and wireless earbuds.
They're noise canceling, so they're perfect for traveling, and they're going to give you access to Alexa on the go.
Portability also offered in Echo Frames glasses and a smart ring called Echo Loop.
Literally is information at your fingertips.
New ways for Amazon's AI to learn more about its users.
They can gain more insight into how we shop and how we think.
Facebook is developing a virtual hangout called Facebook Horizon.
You know, you really can't miss the lawyers.
A social augmented reality experience coming next year through the Oculus Quest headset. Samsung is pushing the Fold with the first-of-its-kind foldable phone, hitting store shelves today.
That comes after kind of a big misstep earlier this year. They were originally going to release it in April.
The new and improved phone opens like a book into a 7.3-inch screen.
I think there's a niche out there, the early tech adopters who are going to say, oh, this is great.
While many say the technology is impressive, it comes with a hefty price tag.
I could spend $2,000 elsewhere.
That may be enough to scare off some consumers. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
If you do want to shell out the cash for a phone that folds in half, Samsung's Galaxy Fold's available today in 2 versions. You can get it at select AT&T stores, Best Buy, and Samsung Experience stores. The Amazon devices are available for pre-order on Amazon.com.